NQ or NQ, NASDAQ, whatever you want. This is our overall high time frame structure. As you guys know, we've had a nasty tear north, had a really deep pull. Now, this bounce that came in, I'm not convinced yet that it's going to burst through all this and take us back up to our high like we've traditionally been used to. It's possible, but I'll explain why here in a second. When you take this upper with this lower, right, uh, from a measured move standpoint. I don't know why that went teal. Okay. And then you move, right, over to areas that we dropped again. You can see pretty close to where we fell there, right, measured. Take that top again, pretty close. So we kind of exhausted a normal market movement. Now, the market loves typically, from an investing standpoint, right, to use moves and percentages. And so that's where measure moves come in, right? And so when it drops a certain percentage, it tends to like to either reverse or at least rebalance at the very least. And that's where we're at now. And this is what makes this placing of where we are very, very tricky, because if you think about it, we were kind of measuring this out as well, right? If you take the ruler and then you take just from this top oscillation and you pull it down, right? That puts your 50% retracement of just that move right there. And so we've already exhausted that. Now, what I was showing a little earlier, if you take up here and you pull it down, right? Now we're a little closer to where we are. And so on the way down from here, we had our 50% retracement. This one did not, and then we dropped. So for us to take that high is more viable, right, than this one. If you take the overall high, right, from the actual structure itself from here, and you measure that out, that puts it almost perfect to this yellow line. Now, if you look at that yellow line there, that is our prior high, and it's in our prior lows. So that is a absolute critical level. So this is where today gets complicated, right? Because if we measure from the top to the bottom to the 50% retracement, 50% retracement is a normal thing in the market conditions, but it doesn't mean we're really bullish. It doesn't mean we're bearish. It means we don't know, right? Because if we don't get above this area, which is 783, somewhere in there, 783, 790, if we don't get above that, right, this is just a equity balance trapping some longs, and then it's going to drop down again, right? If we do get above that, it's likely going to try to surge up into this range, right? That 30K. And so that 783 to me, 790 is going to be a critical level on open. Because if we break above that, do not try to short that top unless we break back below it. We have a little bit of a downtrend, right, that we can measure. So I'm going to true it up just a little because that top's a little bit off. So let's just line that up. And so that would push this a little higher, about right there. Okay, I'm good with that. So as long as we stay below this orange line, right, we are in a bearish downtrend, right? We have the lower high, lower lows, we still have the dump, all that. So there is a chance they can push this here, tap it, hold its support, tap that line, come back, tap that line, come back, and then drop, right? Baiting in those longs. So just from the structure as it stands, right, we had a deep fall, push backwards, pushed up, we came back to there, which is exactly a tap of this prior high. Got our doji, got the close above. That typically is going to support expansion to the north, right? And so it's not surprising that we're getting that push. Now, on market open here in about 7 minutes, the scenarios I'm going to watch is if we swing south first, right? Anything that comes down near 580 or so is going to run a risk of bouncing again, right, in this uptrend. If we break that level, and especially if we break 480, it's going to come all the way back to here. I don't see signs yet of that happening because we have a push 50% retracement, push, 50% retracement. Now we're pushing, right? And so those are all more bullish things, right, than bearish. So, but regardless, it still has to break key levels like this, these highs and these lows. It just has to. So that's kind of what we need to watch today. So yesterday the market respected structure quite a bit. Um, so we'll see. We'll see how it does today. So I don't have to swing too hard today. I traded pretty well last night in Asia, so I have. If I don't take any more trades, I'll be able to take out 5,600 tonight. So I'm not gonna probably push too many, but I do have my builder that I don't mind taking trades on. So let me set up something. Okay. Okay. So that way I'll be ready to take some on that if I want to. But so we're gonna watch it again. We want to just see in the beginning, guys. Is it even gonna identify or recognize structure? So each morning we've been kind of having fun with it. So let's do it again, and let's ask Neo what he thinks. Hey Neo, we got 5 minutes before market open comes. If you were a market maker, where do you think you would send this price to wreck the most retail on open?
As a market maker, the primary
Yeah.
objective is to seek liquidity and balance flow, often by dragging retail into traps at the open. With price currently elevated relative to the institutional range, I would look for an initial fake move, a swift stop run, to induce retail into chasing a false breakout or breakdown before establishing the real daily direction. I would watch for a push into
See
the
how he called that T radius? That's
29,740s
funny.
or a rejection in the opening range to trap early momentum traders. Are you planning to wait for that initial liquidity sweep to play out, or are you looking for a breakout continuation?
So it's funny, Radius, on that. He didn't quite go as high as you did on the 800, but he said the same thing, right? I would expect them to try to drive price up, bait the retail again before they do any attempts of a sweep, right? So, again, he's doing that. But yeah, that Radius is kind of what I was talking about, right? Is these highs and these lows within. And then I was talking a little bit about if you take this deep high to this deep low on your 50%, right? That puts you right around 796. So somewhere between 783 and 796 is what my expectation. That's going to be what makes or breaks it. If we burst through that with any kind of steam on open and we hold it as support, good chance it's going to try to go up for more. But I would expect some kind of push. If we do get the push first, right, it would push stop hunt a little bit, try to hold it, and if it can't hold it with any kind of authority, then we're gonna have a deep drop. So, but we'll see. We'll see how market opens here, guys. Let's. We got 3 minutes, but Neo has made his prediction. We'll see. Again, he doesn't have a crystal ball, but he's been pretty accurate the last few times, which is funny. Yeah, yeah. So we'll see where we sweep to. Uh, Thoughts on SpaceX IPO? I love that. That's like the number one question right now. My thoughts on it is I'm not really chasing any of that because I do just fine trading, but I have torn thoughts and I don't know if I have enough time to explain it. One is normal IPOs like to open and everybody sells off and people get wrecked because everybody wants to just go in and buy it and then they get destroyed. But I don't know if it's true. I didn't confirm it, but I read something, what was it, 2 days ago, that said they're doing Elon's got something structured in a way that people can't sell mass orders until they get to like a certain percentage up, like 20 or 30% above the opening IPO to prevent like big institutional sell-offs, right? Yeah, I was reading on that a bit, and so that changes things. Yeah, it was October. I did read that. And that changes things, right? Because now you're not likely to get that big sell off. Likely it's going to probably take off, uh, pretty early, right? And then around there you'll get that. Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of my thought. So, but yeah, he did smart, man. Yeah, banks hate it. Yeah. He did Elon was smart with that, structuring that a little different from what I was reading cuz I remember the one of the bigger IPOs I tried to do, like you guys, I think we talked about it before, was Coinbase, and I seen that, man. Coinbase was expected to just go to the moon, and eventually it went up a lot, but man, right out of the IPO, it sucked. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I'm expecting it probably to keep going up just because of that rules preventing. Oh yeah. Plus anything, and I think that somebody I also read recently that they're fast tracking it to get it into into the Nasdaq because something about somebody said something about like 15 days or something like some record or something. I don't know. I haven't been following it nearly as much as I probably should, but I am following it a little. So, and I think that 840, 850, yeah, got denied. The yeah, it's gonna be interesting, guys, on that. But let's get to going. We got the market open. So we had an initial push. Now we're getting our open pull. This stuff matters, guys. Let's watch it because where this pushed did not break the high. We need the pull. If the pull cannot break this low, right, then it's going to come back up to test that high. If it breaches the halfway, then it's likely going to get expansion. If it can't breach above that, right, then we're going to get a test back at the south, which then will get expansion to this lower area. So I, at times, I will take some trades based on the shifts and momentums um, of open, but not on this one. I want to wait and see. I don't like where we are in this zone because, like I said, we're right near that halfway 50% retracement area. So it makes more sense to me for them to push it more north. So Neo was talking about somewhere around 740 and then drop it. So it would be really funny if it actually dropped right now. I would even if I didn't trade the trade, I would kind of laugh a little. But let's see let's see what he thinks here. I wanted to give him a little bit to get some data from the open, but let's see. As market opens, where's some potential areas of good support and resistance we should look for a potential trade entry?
With the market open, price is currently battling immediate resistance at the 29,710.77 institutional level, while
See the
support
pull?
is holding near 29,703.49. I am watching for a clean breakout and hold above 29,711.09 to consider a long or a rejection of this resistance zone to look for a short toward the 29,691.09 major support.
Well,
Given the news
got that
event in
one.
28 minutes, I am favoring reduced size and quick profit taking if I enter. Are you
Uh,
leaning toward the breakout long or rejection short at these levels?
this is what I love about Neo, man, is I actually forgot for a second that we had news. And so he is tied into the news. And so he's like, given we have news in 28 minutes, are you sure you want to? And so that's what he's supposed to do, right? Okay. This move means a lot, guys. So again, the way the structure typically works is so far it's doing what it should because we had market open, swept the high, right? We came down, we swept the low. It tried to come back up, couldn't hold that halfway area, right, or these highs, and so that typically once it breaks down, gives you that expansion, right? Now the expansion created a lower low than here, but not a lower low than there. So now what we want to look for is these prices around 700 are critical. And that's why we came up and see how we rejected almost perfectly on 700. So if we reject here, now we're a pull 50% retracement. If we can't break that, it's going to give deep expansion to the south, right? I think it's pretty awesome. I'm just saying, I didn't trade it, guys. Look, I'm not going to tell y'all I did when I didn't. But how freaking cool is it that Neo said on open, I'd expect him to push it up to about 740 and then reject it to wrecking all the retail. And we pushed to 744, y'all, and then dropped to 659. Like that was a. I think, guys, like, correct me if I'm wrong, man. Keep me honest. I think he's like 4 for 4 on market open calls. I'm gonna have to start taking this. That's crazy. Come on, Radius. You got to give him credit on that.
He
He nailed
nailed
that
it,
one.
man.
He nailed that one. Oh man, guys, I'm
So
not in
that's
this.
3 days in a row that he was right.
Oh yeah, almost to the T, almost to the dollar, man. It's crazy. And that's the power of AI, man. They can see shit that we just can't see. But come
I'm
on.
out now, but I took a good short on my opinion.
I appreciate it, Radius. Man, I'll tell you, Radius, you and some others that come on that are experienced, right? Obviously, I love feedback from people who have experience like you do, right? As far as doing all the dealer stuff and things, and because I want there's too much in this world of trading that people are claiming is AI or is claiming that this is good or that is good, right? And most of it's sales pitches. And so with Neo, we truly want to make him be, he is already true AI, but because he can rewrite his stuff, but we want to make it to where he's as accurate as possible. He doesn't have a crystal ball, right? But he's market open, as you guys know, man. Even for us experienced people, is it's one of the tougher reads, right? We can only tell you if this does this and can't break this, right? This is what it's going to do. That's really all we can do. And um, I don't know. It's really cool, man. For him to, I think he's 3 for 3 or 4 for 4. So I'm gonna give him some kudos and see what he says. Man, look at that. We actually went right up to that 740 you called and just dumped. Do you think we are going to see further downside, or what do you think this is going to do? You think it was a trap south? Let's see what he says. Do
That
it.
dump was a textbook liquidity trap. Price pushed into the 5 minutes bearish order block, 29699, 29740, to induce buyers, then immediately failed. With volume showing strong sell pressure and price now pressing against the major institutional support at 29,691.09, we are seeing a clear breakdown of the morning momentum. If price fails to reclaim the
So we're just above that now.
29,691.09 level and continues to show sell pressure, the path of least resistance is likely lower toward the 29,641 institutional max change level. I would be cautious with longs here, as price needs to show significant buyer absorption of this support before any recovery attempt becomes valid.
That makes sense. It looks like we're getting a little bit of bounce above that 691 area now. So where would I look to take a long if I did want to take a long? Or do you think my bias should still be short? Let's see what his guidance is here.
Price is currently holding the 29,701.09 institutional support, which is a constructive sign for a potential scalp long. I would look for a bounce with a target toward the 29,790.97 resistance zone, provided price maintains support and buyer absorption persists. However, maintain a bearish bias on the overall structure until price reclaims the 29,740 area, and remember the 10 a.m. news risk. If you take the long, use 29,690 as your hard invalidation and keep your size conservative.
Yeah. Spot on, guys. I'm really happy with that answer. So, one, he's still reminding you about the news. That's huge, us incorporating the news, because quickly at times, right, we take trades and then the market goes crazy and we're like, shit, it was the news, right? So, I want him to be able to remind you. But his advice is sound, man. If you think about it, he is thinking long, but if price breaks back below 690, he's no longer even going to consider that long. But if price stays above 690, he still doesn't want you to take a long until 740 because that was our prior high. It's the institutional participation level that he identified, right, where he thought we would drive south. And so for us to take a long at or into it is not very smart. Now, if we get a close above that, it's a even me, right? If I'm guiding you through this, it's a high probability that we're going to get up to that range we talked about, right? The full 50% retracement, which is around 800, like 790. And so his advice is get through this area first, let it show us support, right? And then he would advise along. But if it gets below that 690 in an actual retracement, right, then it's going to invalidate it. You don't want to deal with that. So, but let's ask him, based on what you're seeing in the market now, do you think we should prioritize long or short?
The market is conflicted. Institutional flow is currently selling while price structure is showing buy pressure, making this a high compression environment. I would prioritize neither side aggressively until price either reclaims and holds above the 29,701.09 institutional resistance or clearly breaks back below the 29,631.09 support. Given the 10 a.m. news event, I would stay flat or use very small size until a breakout provides clear direction. What is your preferred trade style? Do you want to wait for the breakout, or are you looking for a range play rejection?
So if you guys notice, as we're constantly improving him as even as good as he is. And he's supposed to, one of the things that we're working on, which is really difficult, but I'm almost there, as you see. He's supposed to give you the clear guidance, remind you of the news, and if you're asking certain questions that seem uncertain, right, like I did, where I said, not really sure, where do you think this bias is going? He's supposed to give you proactive questions like that, right? What is your preferred trade style? Do you like continuation? Do you like breakdowns? All that, right? And because he wants to learn a little more about you, right? To help guide you into something you're more comfortable about. So, and you can see, guys, again, I'm not taking anything again, guys, just because I don't need to be aggressive. So, but um, you can see his concerns about the long, right? If we don't get above 740, because the institutions are seem to be participating, right, driving it down, and he's calling that. So I don't know those in the mentor group, right? This was kind of like that clear, push doji close below, right, on the range. So I don't know if any of you took that scalp there, um, let's just keep watching, guys. As of right now, we, as far as structure wise, we'll ask Neo again here, but we have our push, pull, push. We had our dump. We had our full reclaim. That full reclaim could not create the higher high. End up getting the doji, the collapse. We end up surpassing our 50% retracement, and then now it's holding on the 15-minute Lisma. If it loses this Lisma, it's like damn near guaranteed to get a lower low, right? If we end up getting any kind of burst push, because remember it's market open, that bursts through that 50% retracement back to reclaim these areas, then it's going to have crazy expansion to the north, right? And so that's what we're kind of looking for now. And I want to keep asking Neo questions, right? Because I want to keep probing them there. So took a quick long scalp, but it was quick. Yeah, now you want to wait, and you have news, guys, in 19 minutes. So as we approach that, I would be really careful or leave your volume really low, right? So you don't get smacked in the news. But for me personally, the way this is looking, how they're ranging it into coming into the news. Now the news I think was like existing home sales or something. It wasn't, yeah. And so it's not a massive market mover all the time. It just depends if it's way off or not. But so I'm not expecting anything crazy from it. But we'll see. So, looking at the
I thought it was
structure, guys,
CPI
remember
today.
what's up?
I thought it was CPI news today.
No, it's tomorrow, I think. Let's see. Yeah, CPI is the 10th on here. And then you got existing home sales 10 a.m. So, which they're, as you guys know, that's another thing, a good thing to mention though, right? Is they like to price that in, right? And so we can definitely get some pretty mean shakeouts. So, but as you notice here, guys, this move right now is absolutely critical because we remember I was just saying, right? We came down. If we couldn't break and hold this 15, it was going to come back up. Once we reclaim that 50%, it jumps, right? So that would have been your long scalp. When this does this type of structure, this has to create a deep expansion. It just it just has to. If it doesn't, right, it's going to come down really hard. And so what I'm going to look for on this is I want to see a push through and then maybe a tap a couple times on this high, and then we'll get a deep expansion to that 790 or 800 that we were talking about earlier that we'll likely get to. Um, if this, let's say it stalls out right here and it loses these highs, that drop will be pretty bad. But based on the pressure, it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. So we'll watch and see how we got the expansion. Now we want to see on the rear back, right? Anything that pulls back above like 730 is going to likely, support that deeper expansion. So, and see how we're getting that expansion because of the way that structure played out. So, again, guys, news 15 minutes, so be really careful. But let's keep checking in with Neo and see where he's going. Again, my areas 783 is where I marked as a high time frame resistance area. I think it was 793 or so was that 50% retracement of it. I think it was like 95. We'll just throw it at 95 of the overall structure down, right? And so anything that stays below, we'll put this one white for now so I know. So anything that stays below this level, or if we breach it and lose it, it's going to drop really far. But if we end up expanding through this, right, in a deep expansion and it holds as support, we're going to see further upside, quite a bit probably. So this is actually good because it's not a great spot to trade right now because you don't want to long into it unless you're already long trailing it, right? You have 850 zone for your short. Yeah, I was looking at it. If I'll have to see, because if you look from a structure, right, or high time frame, right, this is our high, these were our lows. If we break through all this, right about there, which is 862 to 870 would be really the only next thing that's going to stop it, right, which would be these prior lows here. Because once it breaks through those prior lows, I mean, now you got pretty much back to 30,000 we go, right? So let's watch and see if we get this deep expansion. Now this could be we'll have to see how the news plays out here, guys, because it could be kind of a news trap, right? Where they're going to push the price up a bit, bring it through a level, and then the news comes out and then just drops it. But we'll see. So my 1 minute indicator's got a gap fill with a 693. So let's see. Let's see what the bulls really stepped in there, Neo. Where do we expect this to potentially go? Do you think this is setting up a trap for the news?
The bulls reclaimed momentum, but with existing home sales just 13 minutes away, this push into the 29,770s is exactly where a liquidity trap often forms before the news. If this is a trap, I would look for a failed reclaim of the 29,740 level to signal that the buyers are being induced into a false breakout. I wouldn't chase the long here given the news proximity and compression risk. The cleaner move is waiting to see if price
that
holds the
800?
29,740 level as support post-news or if it rejects and dumps back into the range. Are you
Uh,
looking to scalp the news volatility, or are you staying flat until the dust settles?
hey, Benjamin, you for sure, but anybody on TikTok, when you go to the website, man, if you're able, click on the open session here, and then you just click on this, and it opens up Google Meet. So, if you're able, for you especially because you're in the mentor program now, you might want to go into that, so you don't, that way you don't get the delay. I appreciate you being on TikTok because it helps me have people in here. Helps me with the algo. But if you're actually trading, there's a delay on TikTok, and so you guys have that ability. So that open session is free, guys. Piling up at 30K. Yeah, that well, and that's where. So my thing, I forgot where I said, but somewhere in here, we'll just mark it as like 70 is gonna be the next critical level. If we break 70, it's going to 30. Like I would tell y'all like not that I would say to stay long or take longs, but I damn sure am not going to short a top if we get above 870. There's just no way. So but let's see. I didn't even listen to what he said. So they reclaim the momentum with existing home sales 13 minutes away. This push into 770 is exactly where the liquidity trap often forms before the news. If it is a trap, look for the failed reclaim of 740 level. So basically, if we broke back below 740, to signal the buyers were induced into a false breakout. Don't chase the long here given the news proximity though. Cleaner move is to wait and see if price can pull back and hold that 740. So, and we got deep expansion past the 740 since we've asked him. 900, yeah. And so let's ask him. I know we have news coming, but since price is driving up so hard, do you have any additional levels that price might get to up here that we would look for a potential retracement or short? I want to see if he calls a level out above.
Price is currently testing the 29,841.09 institutional reaction level, which is your immediate pivot for a potential pullback or continuation. If the momentum holds, the next major institutional resistance and gamma wall sits at 29,881.09. Watch for a rejection at that 29,881 level, as that is the primary area where sellers may step in to counter this aggressive move before the 10 a.m. news. Given the extreme buy pressure in news proximity, I would not chase here. Wait for a confirmed rejection at 29,881 or a structural failure below 29,841 if you are looking for a retracement short.
Well, there you have it, folks. So when you have these deep pushes, like we talked about, all right, I'm gonna mute this. If you're just looking at just basic structure, these are our prior highs. So now we have a deep push. It would be normal for us to get a pull to here, because that would be our push, 50% retracement, tap these highs, and then from a news standpoint, there's likely shorts trapped here, right? That got the lower low, thinking expansion, and now there's likely longs trapped here, right? And so just before news comes out, it would not surprise me, the old if I was a market maker, I would drop this down here just before news, and then let it sit, because then now they have people trapped here, and they can decide where they want to go, right, based on the news. And so it's a normal move, right, pre-news. So the 740, we'll call it 750 area, right, is kind of that area. Now, this was some very important levels, right? 83 and 95. So while we're on here, and if we come down into those levels and we tap and we get a push and it closes above that doji in the news, right, it's going to be pretty massive, right? So
Who said 850? That was a pretty good call.
yeah,
Whoever said that.
yeah, look, and we rejected right at 840. Yeah, 841 was his level that he said we're likely to reject, and so he was on point again, man. I didn't take that one either, though, because of the news coming up, and I'm not risking my accounts that I've got guaranteed money on. But I don't know, guys. On TikTok, you have to admit that's pretty cool. He's like 3 for 3 today on where we're gonna reject. But again, even normal market structure says we should come back to here, right? It's a normal news trap or news setup. So, and you can ask them, guys. I want to say this too. Those are on TikTok as well, and anybody in the community here listening, which most of you guys know. But I will probably say, and now that we're marketing Neo, because he is awesome and helping so many people, he yeah, as long as you're trailing it, Tony, because you got news in 8 minutes. Um, the biggest question I get, guys, is, man, he's calling this awesome. How do I get him? And I'm like, okay, it's a website. Go to the website, and the first thing everybody asks, and this is probably like 98% of people, right? So it's not just a one-off. Is, oh, that's awesome, man. Is there any instructions as to how to use him, right? And I was thinking about it the other day, guys. I understand the question because people don't understand AI. But imagine if you were to message me and say, hey, can we get on a phone call? And I say, yes. And then you type back and say, before the phone call, is there any instructions as to how I should ask you questions or use you? Right? Like, it's just not something you would say. It would be weird. If you asked me that, I might be like, maybe we don't want to call and talk, right? Because you're just not going to walk up to somebody and ask them, like, I mean, think, Cody, if I walked up to you and I was like, hey, man, I want to talk to you about trading. Oh, man, that sounds good. I love trading. I know all about it. All right, do you have any instructions as to how I can talk to you about it? Wouldn't you be like, what? Right?
Like, how are you gonna talk if you don't
Like,
know?
what does that even mean? And that's the thing, guys, is that's AI. There doesn't, I mean, we have some ideas of how to implement that stuff, right? And uh give me 1 second on that, Benjamin. Is he's AI, guys. Just talk to him like he's AI, right? Like he's gonna talk back, right? It's just like you're talking to a person, right? And so watch, I'll tell him, man, so far you're 3 for 3. That rejected almost perfectly off that 841 level. Great call. A bunch of people took that short. I want to give him a little kudos, right? And look at that. Perfect rejection back to the thing, like clockwork, guys. So let's see what he says. It's a news setup. It does it all the time. You're, Scott, I couldn't hear anything you said because your mic sounds
Glad to hear
muffled.
you caught that rejection. Those
Let's see.
institutional levels often act as magnets and transition points for the real move. With the existing home sales release just 5 minutes away, do not overstay your welcome. Market makers love to run stops on both sides right at the release. Protect that profit now or tighten your stop, as news volatility will likely wipe out any minor structural levels currently on your chart. Are you going to be flat for the news, or are you holding the runner?
No, we're staying flat for the news. I think everybody's out of a trade now, but everybody, I believe, is green for the morning. So far, your stuff has been on point. Is there anything you're seeing before the news? I'm just curious. I know you can't predict the news, but if you were a market maker, where would you send this price via the news? I want to see if he'll even anticipate that because he doesn't like to predict
That's
news.
the discipline that keeps you in the game. Staying flat now is exactly the right move. If I were the market maker, I would look to push price rapidly into the 29,881.09 resistance to trigger buy stops, then immediately reverse it to trap the breakout traders, or conversely, slam it into the 29,561 major support to flush out over leveraged longs before choosing a direction. Expect high slippage and volatility, so watch how price reacts to that 29,881 level immediately post-release. Does that map align with where you're seeing the liquidity stacking on your end?
All right, I'm marking that. We're calling him out here. Let's see. So he's saying 61 is the low of the news of where he would send it if there's too many longs. And what do you say? 81. We'll just put it there. So that's his high and low. So he's saying if there's too many if the news comes out right and they wanted to wipe the the shorts, they're going to push it to 81 before then rejecting hard. If they want to wipe the longs, right, they're going to push it to 561 before pushing hard. So we'll see how that goes. Pretty on point though so far, guys. Good job on that one, Tony. You can see it went deeper than I thought, right? But guys, it's again, I didn't take it. I'm not risking guaranteed money while news is coming, but it's a normal thing, guys. They do this all the time. They sweep one way hard pre-news, and then they reject it hard, at least to the middle, right? To kind of trap. Now this one's interesting because this push must have trapped a bunch of longs playing the breakout, right? Because now they're feeling comfortable enough to just sweep it almost in a full reclaim. I'll tell y'all, news changes everything. So I don't. It's just home sales. It's nothing crazy. We do have CPI tomorrow, so they're gonna try to price that in. But a lot of times with this type of thing, if you have that kind of resistance with this deep push of a structure that fails to hold that high, that creates a lower low. So that 561 to me, if there were no news involved, would be more probable, right, than the 881 right now. But the news changes everything. It just depends on what it comes out, right? Because the way I interpret news is news has. This is where somebody said the other day, like, do you trade news? I don't really trade news. I trade technicals, but the news is important because it's a catalyst, right? If the news is bearish, but it's not bearish enough to break these lows, right, then it's going to jump. But if it's bullish, right, and it's not bullish enough to break these highs, then it's going to drop, right? Keep it going, Neo. That's awesome. I'm gonna tell him you said that, Tony. Man, he remembers stuff right now, so we gotta boost up his stuff. Oh, that was my Google Meet link. Apparently, I didn't copy it. Let me copy your thing, guys. And we got news in a minute, guys. So do not be in a trade right now. If you are, just manage your risk.
Glad you stayed disciplined. That's exactly how you survive the chop before release. We are now inside the 1-minute news window, so keep your hands off the keyboard and let the initial volatility clear. Once the dust settles, watch for a clear structure shift around the 29,791 reaction level. Stay safe, Tony.
Yeah, there you go, Tony. Talking to you. Yeah, it's awesome, man. Tony, have you checked out Neo yet? Because guys, you could get him right now if you want. Anybody can. He's got a free. It starts out 3 day, but it ends up a 6 day. We give you 6 days total to try him out. So being it's Tuesday, it's a good time to get it, right? So all you do is go to nextstepalgo.com and good deal. I haven't looked to see who has it, so I didn't know. But you go to nextstepalgo.com, guys. For those on TikTok, I'll just share quickly, and then we do have the news drop. When you go into the website, start here. You're gonna see it says TradeVision. You just click on that. That's all it is. It's a website. You don't have to install anything. You don't have to download anything. You don't have to change any settings. I'm gonna say it again quickly, and then we'll assess the news. He is AI. You don't need to wonder how to use him or how to have instructions to use him, because it's like talking to a person, right? You wouldn't walk up to a friend and ask if they have instructions on how to use them, right? He is true AI. He's gonna remember things. He's gonna guide you. If you're stuck, if you're feeling emotional, like you can tell him. Like watch. I'll just I'm gonna make this up, but watch. Hey Neo, somebody on TikTok said they got wrecked in that trade. They wish they would have listened, and now they're a little bit emotional. What advice do you have for them?
Tell them to step away from the screens immediately. Trying to fix an emotional loss almost always leads to a second, larger mistake. The market isn't going anywhere, but they're capitable if they keep trading while their judgment is clouded by frustration.
So again, he's gonna be your guide, your mentor, your coach. Like, it doesn't have to just be trading, right? Like, I get sometimes people say that they're like, "Oh, so he's a signal call," and I'm like, I mean, kinda, right? Oh yeah, I've actually messed with him, Tony, where I'm like, I'm taking this trade, I'm taking this trade, I'm taking this trade, and he's like, Nick, get your hand off the mouse and walk away, or I'm gonna start ignoring your questions, because I told him I broke like 13 accounts. And he flat out told me, I'm going to ignore your questions. I refuse to give you guidance going forward until you can check back in 20 minutes. Like, he put me on timeout because this is when we were testing him, right? Trying to break him. And, appreciate you sending that, Tony. Uh, and that's the thing, guys, is there's really not, even me, I think of him as like, how can I create instructions or like a guide or a video or user guide? And we have some ideas, but it's not necessarily needed. You just have to understand that it's like talking to a person, right? Um, hold up. This will be funny while we watch news settle. This is how we handle those comments.
I'm here to help with market analysis and trading strategy, not to facilitate trades for virtual game items. If you have questions about the MNQ chart or need help interpreting the post-news structure, let me know.
I know this guy came into my TikTok feed trying to promote this stuff. What do you think about that?
Oh, look at that. Someone trying to peddle get-rich-quick nonsense on social media. What a shocker. That stuff is usually just a way to empty your wallet while the promoter collects the affiliate commission. So save yourself the headache and keep your focus on the actual price action.
You heard it first there, guys. Neo. I love sarcastic is the funniest one, man, for trolls. I'm gonna put him on uncensored for a little bit. We'll see what he has to say about this stuff. Let's ask him. All right, we had the news drop. It doesn't seem like there was a lot of volatility from the news. What do you see as far as institutional orders? Is there any potential bias of direction now that we have the news drop? I just saw what you said, John. That's funny. Man, he's thinking about it. Around market open, I notice he gets a little less in his delays, but I can't tell. At times, it's my Chrome, not Neo, because I'll do it on my phone and it's fine.
The news was a nothing burger, but the institutional context is still stuck
But
in a
on my
tug of war
Chrome,
with
it's
bearish flow pressing against supportive pivot bias. I'd watch the 29,691.09 reaction level like a hawk. If that snaps, we're likely testing the 29,566 support, but if it holds, this is just institutional range bound shop. Keep your size small. This market is currently indecisive as hell.
Let me see if he has that one. I don't know if we have that one. No, we don't have that one. And I don't mind normally looking for other stuff for people, but we're currently trading. So if you want to hang out, we're usually done here in about 30 minutes or so, and then I can hang around for a little bit for people that want to look at other stuff. All right, so let's look and see, guys, what the news is doing. It didn't really do much. It didn't really expect it to do much because we are. It's not a big news thing, right? Unless it's way off. And so let's look at this structure-wise. So far, it played out like we talked about, even with the news, which is when you get this type of push with that equal reclaim, it tends to at least create a lower low, which we did. We created the lower low. The tricky part about this spot is this created a pretty clear lower low, right, from there, but a higher low from there slightly, right? And so as it pushed. So again, we want to revert to certain things, right? Like the 50% retracements. And so this conveniently looks like from the top to the bottom, right, puts the 50% retracement somewhere in here. And so for us, any kind of pull up here that smacks around that, I think he called 740 a few times, and holds below, you want to stay short, right? Anything above 740, you'll want to stay long, right? Because that was that institutional pivot that he was talking about earlier. So unless it's changing, right, which I'd have to ask him, but this was kind of that range. I'll put just a little block for you guys to see. So anything below here, right, we're likely to see further downside, whether it's a push up into it and downside or just downside, right, expansion. Anything that breaks above here, right, then we're pretty high probability to push up, right, to that 81 he was talking about. So uh let me ask him, do you still see the 29,740 area as institutional positioning, or is it shifting?
That 29,740 area is irrelevant now. The institutional
Excuse
battleground
me.
has shifted firmly to the 29,701 resistance. If price can't reclaim the 29,701 level, the institutional flows are telling you exactly where they want to send this. Straight down to test the 29,562 support zone.
Well, there you go. What do I know? Well, and so here's the thing, guys. This is the power of Neo, right, or AI, is everything in the market is forever changing. Who is speaking to you? Oh, that's Neo, the AI right here. See on the screen right here, over here? That's my AI in the company. And so, yeah, he's calling 550, 562. But uh, just like I know you know, Radius, on this is the only consistent thing in trading is change, right? Orders are always coming in, they're always coming out. Institutions, are always setting up fakes, right? Pushes in one way, then the other, right? Orders get placed, orders get pulled, right? And all that stuff matters, right? Where they're putting these orders are, where they're shifting, how they're pulling it. And that is where AI, guys, is so powerful because you can't see that quickly, right, as humans, right? And so even me, right, if I'm sitting there going, okay, guys, he's called 740, and I'm looking at it going, that's actually still solid because look, we have pretty high resistance areas here. And then he says institutional orders are changing, it's shifting, they're actually pulling it down into that 700 range now. that's important because what that tells you is that they're pulling that down, expecting potential further downside. But it also tells you a big thing that if you break above that 700, you hold it as support, then it's likely going to be participation to the other side, right? No, he Fancy Pants, he does multiple things. So when you go into the website, nextstepalgo.com, and you scroll, you'll see something like this, right? And so we do a free trial. You can have 3 days just by subscribing to our YouTube, I think it is free. You don't have to do anything else, and then you can do 3 days more. So we get 6 total days of free trial for anybody. You don't link a card, nothing like that. And when you do the free trial, you're gonna get pro with it. We give you everything. There's nothing limited. Now he does all these futures. So you have ES, MNQ, MES. The gold, silver, and crude. These are all the stocks he does. We can add more stocks. People that are in the community, we will add them based on special requests. And look at that, man. He's almost spot on again. Uh, and so this is the stocks, right, that we have. And then the crypto, we did most of the one in the 100 market cap. So he does crypto as well. Yeah, yeah, he'll do it all. And he'll actually tell you guys, uh, when you go into here, man, we actually just hit that freaking level again. That's so crazy. He did that again. Look at that. He's called 562 is what he said. Remember we marked the white line. And you have to look, I keep reverting back to you, Radius, but or any of you guys, man, Cody, isn't it freaking amazing that he was like, due to the dealer positioning, moving down to that 700 range, I would expect that they're showing signs that they're going to drive it down to that lower 561, and we just nailed it. We're about to hit it.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild? We just hit it. Get out of here.
Yeah, let's go back up.
All right, who
Good
took?
bounce. This is a good bounce area.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's crazy. Like again, I didn't even take the trade, but I'm blown away because I love it, right? Because you guys got to understand, I know everybody in the community knows, but anybody on TikTok, like we have worked crazy amount of hours to perfect this guy. And he's pretty much there, man. And so, it's kind of like watching your kid grow up, right? And so for him to call things in such a difficult area, I think that with any tool, whether it's an indicator, AI, a mentor, anybody, right? Like you have to build the confidence that it's right. Nice. Landon got 400 on that short call he did.
He nailed
Uh,
it, man.
man, he nailed that. And so I'm excited because yeah, like I was talking to Benjamin last night if he or yesterday if he's here still, and I was telling him the same I will always stand by, right? Like I'm on a mission not to grow a company um, for my own benefit. I'm on a mission to grow a company that is actually truly doing what most people claim or try to claim, which is actually help people, right? And change people's lives, right? And so what we built here is you have a guide, a mentor, something you can talk to 24/7, right? Whether and he will teach you at all skill level. He will literally, if I ask him to tell me as if I'm a 5-year-old, he will. He'll start telling me about toys and playgrounds, right? But if I'm advanced, I can come in and let him know I'm advanced, and he's going to talk to you, through liquidity and a lot of the deeper terms, right? And so to see it not only coming to life, but we've gotten so many people in the community that have gotten payouts because of him, or at least saved accounts because of him, right? And so pretty awesome, man. That he's just nailing these calls. But that's where AI is so powerful because I can look at a chart. I can, even us experienced traders and determine things, right? And, structure wise, it makes sense. You guys heard me say, when we get this push and we get that pull, if we can't get that halfway or above, it's likely going to give a deep expansion of a lower low, right? And so, it's all the same, right? And so, oh, I appreciate it, Fancy. Yeah, and guys will. I have a bunch of people I mentor, and they'll tell you, man, the overpromise underdeliver in this space absolutely drives me crazy. So that and knowing what I know because I build right things, and am experienced in trading, when I flip through TikToks and all these marketing stuff, it's so bad. It's so bad, right? And you got people claiming it's AI when it's a Pine script indicator. Like it's insane. And so you guys got to be careful. But with this and guys, this AI, as many of you know in the space, we could charge a lot for this, and people would probably do it. But you can get the basic plan for $50 even after the trial, right? We don't want to price gouge. That was never my intent. I shouldn't have to charge you guys $1 million for something that is mostly automated and the overhead cost is not too bad, right? And my goal is to make money obviously as a company, but not have you give all your payout back to us for the tool, right? It just doesn't make sense. And so yeah, it blows my mind fancy. Like I go through TikToks and people are like, "Oh, this indicator looks great. Oh, it's $100. Yeah, I'll do it." And I'm like, "What?" I was like, "Y'all can get AI for $50 to get here." Well, that's kind of a wide answer, right? Because I have been trading about 8 years ish, I think, a little over, a little under, and um, we have built a lot of stuff throughout a lot of companies, and so the knowledge has been a very long time coming. But as far as building him, it hasn't been too long, just because our team is awesome. So I am the trader, right, that is able to work with his logic, his code. Guys, I'm not chasing this short, so don't try to long this. Hopefully, you're not doing that, and be really careful chasing it. I'll look at the levels here in a second, um, but yeah. So as far as his logic, his trading style, what I want to see, that's what my role is, right? And so that part's not been real difficult, but kind of, because I got to deal with all the data he's ingesting, making sure he's interpreting it correctly, right? And that's the tough part. But where the advantage that we have is our programmer, I've known for like almost 30 years. He can build damn near anything. And his kind of job and role has been, for 30 years, pretty much as long as I've known him, programming, coding. He's heavy into the AI and all that now too. And so his skills on putting things to life from a programming mixed with what I can do mixed with Paul, right? Who's another co-founder. Uh, just it's made him just be solid, man. It's such a good kind of correlation within our team. And so we've been working, those in the mentor group know 14, 16-hour days for months now, trying to get this thing, because I know the quicker I can get him just solid, right, the more I can help people with it. Um, and so for you guys on TikTok especially, there's a lot of hype going around about I have AI, and most, if not all, are doing the old Claude bandwagon, right? Like jumping on Claude, and Claude is fine if you do it correctly, but Claude is localized. It's not something scalable, right, or something you can do with multiple people. And appreciate it. And ours is not like that. Ours is actually ran on commercial servers, and it's set up in a way that it doesn't matter how many people we have on there. Your experience is the same, and you're not relying on my internet or my computer to stay on, right? Because it's on a server. And so um, it's just awesome, man. We've it's been a long, I feel like it's been a long road, even though it's been kind of a shorter time. But the help that he's been giving a lot of people now is just, this is really what it's all about. So, and it looks like we're still free falling. Let's see. Um, let's go back to MNQ. Let's get an update. But yeah, it's exciting, guys. And again, the last thing I'm gonna just jump to, because I know I see people coming in still on TikTok. Again, this is NEO AI. He's like 5 for 5 on amazing calls today, even during open. And you can try them out right now if you want. You just go to the website and jump on. So yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's true. If you take all the labor and hours I put in there, right, Andrew? But it's fine, man. I make most all my money trading, and so the most important thing, I'm a firm believer, and I think Paul, you're still on here too. You know, I know Paul and I've had a billion of these, yeah, discussions, that if you make good things for the right reason and a true, actual, true, humble intent to help, your it's there's a way to be mutually beneficial, right? Where people are profiting, but you're able to be successful, right? So yeah, let's check with Neo. Man, you were spot on with that fake out push pull. We actually broke through that 561 level. Do we have any potential levels of support, or what do you think the market's going to do from here?
That drop through the 29,561 support was a bloodbath for anyone long, but it's exactly the kind of flush I warned about. The market is currently in full on liquidation
He's
mode.
like, he
The
said, I
next
warned
clear
you.
structural floor is basically non-existent until we see some buyer absorption, so keep your hands off the buy button until you see a valid replaying of that 29,411 level. If that level holds as resistance, we're just waiting for the next leg down.
Okay, so uh it's funny, guys, too, just since he said that, I want to touch on it. Is yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, the ease of use. Yeah, exactly. Well, and there's a lot of false AI where they're claiming it is, but it's not. Uh, and so like with him, I can tell you guys wholeheartedly, and those that watched me develop a little early on, he rewrites his stuff. Like sometimes it's annoying. It's really annoying. I you know, because we do audits and reviews of stuff that he's rewriting, and I'll question why he changed something, and then guys, over the weekend, because I have a portal to talk to him, right? Like about his code. Like, why did you do this? What would you do this? Hypothetically, what if this? And man, sometimes he's just stubborn. He's like, well, he'll argue with me about something, and I'm trying to force him to be like, no, they're like, you're wrong. And now that he's gotten smarter, uh, it's like raising a damn child. Like Cody, you guys, man, uh, Michael, a lot of you guys that have seen him since beta, it's like raising a child, man. It's like, he went from infant stuff to now he's like that teenager, like, I know what's best, don't tell me what to do. It's like, excuse me. So uh it's cool, man. It's so cool because guys, I've had people reach out to me in TikTok, and I've even talked over the phone, and they're like, man, what you guys have built here is crazy. Like I'm trying to do the same and I can't get it to work. And they ask me, how did you do it? Well, I'm not lying when I tell y'all I'm not the AI guy. I'm not the programmer, right? How to get it again? Yeah, man. You just go to the website. It's all website based. So just nextstepalgo.com. The link is in my bio as well. I'll type it in here, but I have to do it like this because it does not. TikTok does not like when I post websites, even though my website's approved and in my bio. But again, on that note, guys, and then let's get back to seeing if there's any trades because we're 10:30. So 411 was his mark. See that? We also are double bottoming. As we get this push, there's really not a lot of lows, right, until about here. Typically with this, though, you like to see a push, reclaim, hold of that neckline, which is right around that 411 he was talking about. But if you notice on his long, right, he said keep the hands off the buy button until you see a valid reclaim of that 411. Now, valid reclaim doesn't always just mean break. In this deep of a drop, guys, I mean, we just dropped like something stupid. I mean, what, $400 almost, and we want to see an actual confirmation, right? We want to see a push, a hold, doji close above, then play the expansion is ideal. Can this just double bottom and take off? Of course, right? But you're playing a little bit with fire because this 480 that I have marked on here is a very critical level. And so if we stay below that, we're going to see further downside. So you're better off waiting until we reclaim that, and then you'll get expansion, because also that would be a double bottom after a pull, and then you take your 50% retracement, right? If you take your ruler like that, right, that would put us somewhere back up to 520 or so. And so if we can get this to hold, I would expect, to come up and test this area here is what I'm expecting. So, but it's got to break that 480. So that's how you would look at that. Chelsea, are you playing the long? I mean, it's not a bad call, right? Because you got the double bottom and you're playing. I actually trade a lot of my trades. If I miss this, I won't chase it. I'll wait for a clear reversal setup of buyers coming in, and then I'll play that 50% retracement, right, with the TP at it. And so, yeah. And so, but again, he's spot on, right? He said, don't touch a long until we reclaim 411, because we were down here. And we reclaimed the 411, and I mean, we went up $90. So he was still pretty right. So, pretty cool.
Do you have a second? You could go over this option call that I did this morning with me, or
Oh, you mean like do TA? Or
yeah, just I don't know exactly what to do or whatever. Like, but I don't know if I should sell it while I'm up or what. You know what I mean? I don't really know how to do it.
what was the symbol?
McDonald's MCD.
MCD. I don't really look for McDonald's, so that's why I wanted to get the actual. You're on options. So is this your price? I haven't charted. I don't think I've charted McDonald's ever. Let's see.
280.45, I think is the price.
Oh yeah. As of right now, you're looking good, because just quick look, right? Clearly, you have a pull. The thing I would watch is
Well,
obviously.
I did a call for next Friday
Yeah. So
at
this.
285.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, this is obviously, as you know, right? Mark your downtrend. So we are looking very bottom here. It's looking kind of like it wants to, right? Because you can see we have a drop, a push, a drop, uh, and then we have our push right here. And then this gave a halfway reclaim with an explosive absorption north, right? So that's looking decent. He's going to do options probably in the next week or two. We're really close. That's a different kind of coding, and so we have to add that in, but it won't be that hard because the logic is still the same. He's just got to. I gotta make sure he understands, DT, decay, strike price, all that stuff. And so, but yeah, oh yeah, he's gonna do that probably in the next week or two. And there's so much more, guys. We're not even done. We have watch lists coming out. He's gonna be able to actually trade for people, not too far out, probably, maybe 4 to 6 months.
But if it goes past my price, then I'm in big profit, right? I
Yeah.
don't really understand,
Well,
I guess, what I'm getting at.
you're
I
good.
could sell it now for a good profit.
So here's the thing, man. Let me explain it to you like this. So a quick little options for people that don't know. Just for the sake of example. So let's say you took I don't know, zero DT, or I don't, the days to expire matter, right? On how quickly it's going to decay. So if you're like like
Mine
two
would
to,
hit 19,
all right, what is yours?
the 19th, because it's next Friday.
So you took a 10-day contract.
Yeah.
Okay. And so that matters, right? Because when you take a longer out contract, that little movement against you is not going to hurt as bad as if you have um, a zero. So keep in mind this way, and this is going to just be a little, and I'm not an options expert, guys. You guys know I'm never going to claim to be something or say something I know that I don't. So some of y'all are probably even better at options than me. I'm an analyst, so as far as chart movement, but I understand. So basically, if you think about it this way, if you take a call, just like you had to choose a strike price. So what's your strike price?
285.
285. Okay, so let's say there's your strike price right there. So assuming this is the end of today, everything in options, if I'm going to simplify it for people who don't know, it's the value means nothing. It's only valuable if people are buying it, right? And so if now the price is hold on, my TikTok gave me my little puzzle. It says you look inactive. Like, how do I look inactive, TikTok? Anyways, um, if I tell you that, like, let's just do this quick exercise because this is good stuff. And so if I were to tell you, hey, uh, the price is likely going to get to 285 pretty quickly. With this push, you might believe that, right? Before it gets to that line. And so because it's doing bullish things, right? So people are going to try to buy because it's more people tend to like to buy the closer strike price stuff because it's more probability of getting there, right? But not always. So if I were to tell you, this pushing like this, it's pretty good probability. So your price is going to go up a lot. But if you're on, let's say, a zero DTE, and all of a sudden, uh, now the price comes down because it hit this trend line and it does this, right? And by then, right, that's your end of your contract. What's the probability do you think it's going to get up there? You're probably a lot less. You're not willing to pay as much, right? And think of it from, like, this is how I used to teach it. Like, think of it like betting. If you were here and I would say, hey, I'll bet you $100 it doesn't get to there, you're going to be like, I'll take that bet before it gets to there. But if it gets down here and now it's closer to there, and I say, hey, I'll bet you $100 it gets to there, you're going to be like, no, I'm not, you know, I'm
That's
not,
kind of where I'm at right now
I'm
because
not betting it.
I
Yeah.
got in at $1.62 a share, and right now it's at $2.44 that I could
Yeah.
sell it.
So you're doing good. So what you could do is you could always set like a stop out of like half the position, things like that, right? To secure some. But depending what how many you did. But that's kind of how the
I
decay and
just
all
did
that works,
one.
right?
It was just one contract, so
Yeah, so you just have to write it in. So the thing with options on that, guys, is in futures, I just got to know, is it going up or down? In options, I got to know, is it going up or down, where it's going to go, and how soon is it going to get there, right? And so that's why it makes it more complicated, right? A little, but it's very profitable because you can take very little money uh, in your contract buys, and you know what your risk is. That, like, either you're right or you're wrong. Now, with you having it out 10 days, you could let those even go for a day and not be too bad on your strike price, right? Or on your decay, right?
well, I mean,
But
I'm like immediately I'm like up 60% or
uh-huh.
something, and it's like,
So
so
I
should
would
I just get rid of it and take my money? That's kind of what I was getting
well,
at. Like,
so keep in mind, man, and this goes with everything in trading. Close it when you have a reason to close it,
got
not
it.
before, right? And so as of right now, we're in a downtrend. There's no debating that. It's in a downtrend. Um, we know that it double tapped, and we know that it reclaimed. We know that it pushed. We know it 50% retraced, and then the buyers came in. That's not bearish or selling, right? That is a pull the 50% and an absolute reclaim instantly, right? Within an hour. And so that's showing strength. Cody, all too well, if we have a doji with a close above the doji, that is going to expand, right? Even if there's a trend line there, it doesn't really usually matter. It's going to expand through it. But if we get a close below it, it's coming down, right? So now you can take simple things, because I used to do that too, where I would take longer contracts just to give me a little time to play. And you can take little things like this trend, and then you can come down, to a 1 or a 5. And think about it this way, Cody, like, with all these flat bottoms and this expansion, right, past this high, would you close on a futures trade? Right?
No,
Probably
no.
not, because we're still really bullish. Now, if you want to look and say, okay, is the micro doing anything less? Now we look at the 1 minute. What I would recommend is, if you're concerned or you want to secure a pretty good profit, just take a low time frame trend line, right? And if we come back and breach this at any point, then take your profit, right? And if you're even more concerned, then go lower time frame, right? Each
So
time, huh?
how does it work once like it gets to my price? I don't understand, like, how do you sell it then if
There is
it's already
no,
at your price or
well, so
whatever?
that's where you're getting confused, right? So
Yeah,
remember,
that's what I don't understand.
so strike price is not like that. So it's not like a take profit, right? If your strike price is here and let's say the price explodes, you your values of your contracts are going to go crazy, like through the roof, right? And so it doesn't, it's not like that's a TP. You're just banking or banking on your contract is going to reach that price over that time, right? And that's what creates that value. But if it exceeds greatly, dude, you're just making bank, right? It's not like it stops there. And so you're not, don't think of this like a TP. It's just more of a directional uh again, I'm trying to think of it like
Mhm.
more simple terms, right? Where
Yeah.
when you buy a contract, there's a many variables as you look when you go to buy it, right? You're gonna have how long it is, where the strike price is. The strike price is where do you think price is going in that direction, right? And so everybody has an option to buy those same contracts. And if people are buying them, yeah, yeah. And if people are believing that your strike price is a good one, right, at that time, right, then those contracts become more valuable. So, and again,
Mm.
I'm yeah, I understand enough on options, right? I did options for years, and I did pretty well with it. Uh, but I don't claim to be an expert by any means. So, but if you think about it from a structure standpoint, don't think like, hey, I'm trying to get to that price and then I'm going to close it. If it keeps going, let it keep going, man. It's gonna make money, right? Yeah. And so Tony said, uh, read into here. I'll copy and paste it. What he said. I'll put it in the Google Meet. So he said, read into that. So what you do
Okay.
is treat your trade no different than futures, right? If you're concerned because let's say you're up, I don't know, $100. Let's say small. You would look at this no different than a
Yeah,
futures
that's
trade,
about what it is right now.
right? So if our 15-second trend line breaks, we know it's high probability it's going to pull back into this area here. If the 1 minute breaks, right, we know that high probability to pull back to these highs or these lows, right, into there. But as long as we stay above these things, right, it's going to go up. Now, this is where understanding and anticipating the market matters, right, because is this doing bullish things or bearish things, right? Now we're on the 15 seconds, so you can't freak out about every little movement. But look at this example. We had a pull more than the halfway, didn't even get to the top. That's very bullish. Came up, we got expansion. It tried to break it, couldn't hold the top, and it dropped, which led into a deep push and expansion again. Those are a few bearish things that flipped bullish. Now we're in a double top, right? You have a double top with a pull, with a hit that is beginning to break down. This breakdown should pull it down to at least around here, right? If not all the way to this trend line. It's just how double tops act, right? But if for some reason this, stops somewhere in here and we shoot back up again, it's invalidating those bearish things, right? Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, there's so many, and that's where so Tony and others that are listening, when I the cool part about Neo guys is I am teaching them everything I know when it comes to the analytics of trading, how to trade it. The beauty of AI, where I'm taking advantage of it for my own personal gains, is that I'm teaching him analytics, price movement, price structure, how the charts move, how markets move, what should do, what should expect, institutional stuff, right? Like all that. But we don't box him in to say this is the only way to trade or the only way to advise. I never wanted to do that because I don't, that would be uh, not wise because I don't claim to know everything about trading or everything about options. And so we're all always learning. And so for him, he has the analytic side of how I want him to interpret data, but he has the gray area to color outside the lines, right? If he sees that it's needed, right? And so there's been a few times, even on TikTok, people, yeah, he does VTC. They'll ask a question, and I'm like, I have no idea, and then I'll paste it into him, and he gives like a full, complete answer, and I'm like, shit, I learned something too. And that's why I built him that way, is because I want people that are advanced or experienced to still be able to ask them questions that maybe they don't know, right? Let me take a look at the questions. I do see those coming in. I'll put does that make sense, Cody, on your thing? It's no different on that mostly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I should go ahead and sell it while I'm good or what, but
I
it
mean,
makes sense. I mean, I got a whole 10 days or
see
whatever.
this? Look, it's doing it again,
Yep.
right? You're getting a double top that should have got expansion, that you're getting a crazy push out of it, right? There's a lot of bullish things going on with it, not bearish, so I wouldn't freak out, right? So let me put a few of these questions. Um,
Oh, thanks, man.
yeah.
Longing 7,410 here is just catching a falling knife while the bears are in full control. Price is currently sitting on major institutional support at 7,428.62, so betting on a bounce before that level holds is pure gambling. If you absolutely insist on buying into this
He's
dumpster
on
fire, your
uncensored, I
stop
forgot.
needs to be below the 7,428 major support level, but honestly, you're just begging to get your face ripped off.
He's on uncensored, so he's a little more blunt with uncensored is funny, man. But yeah, you see here, right? So you mentioned at 710, his concern is bears are in control, which they're not. He's not wrong to be concerned, right? But he is basically looking at where the price is, and that he is identifying some institutional potential support around there, right? And so if you can, uh, for this one, similar, this is a fun, tricky one, right? Because you have a push with the lower high, higher low, possible pennant, but then after the deep pull, right? I'm not sure. I don't like the placement of that, right? Because it's after a drop, not a push. And so possible for it to fail versus to hold. So um with this one, you can see you already had the deep drop, 50% retracement, and then it dropped again. So I wouldn't take, if it were me, I wouldn't take a long until I got above like 745 on this one, right? You need to get above that retracement. So, oh, I got you. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we actually talked about doing so we're going to be teaching him options very soon. And so I got people opening up their accounts. So we're gonna, in my mentor group, we're gonna be doing some afternoon sessions, option trading probably. So, but yeah, let's go. But yeah, again, guys, it's 10:42. I know we already had some really good success with the morning calls, but let's go back real quick and see if we see anything. Yeah, see, this is, so you see how this is where I paused, right? So ES, this is what I was telling you. I don't trust this because ES had a bigger push than NQ, which would suggest this could be a possible push. But see how it's breaking down? I don't trust it. It's funny when you go to the imbalance, NQ is different. It push, but this is more bear pennant, right? Because you got the lower high, higher low after the fall. And so that imbalance there is important. And so I would be really careful going long right now. So, but yeah, let's take a look at the charts here, guys. Again, yeah, for uh, the ask about Bitcoin, you can ask. I'm going to leave him on uncensored. So if he believes the question is good, it's good. If not, he gets a little feisty. So we'll see. Somebody was asking for a quick update on TikTok about Bitcoin. Can you help them with that?
It's going to zero.
Bitcoin is currently getting absolutely hammered, trading well below all major EMA levels and stuck in a clear bearish downtrend. Do not even think about catching this falling knife until you see some actual buyer absorption and a reclaim of at least the 62K area, or you're just asking to get liquidated.
That's what he thinks about Bitcoin. And then watch. So I'll tell you guys, this is just, I'm going to give you a couple examples since most I think we're done trading. But see the bear pennant playing out. Anybody taking that? I don't know if you guys, I know most of you guys are done. Anybody taking this short at all? At all? I'm just curious. If not, it's fine because most of you I think are done. Um, so um, I tend to get the other response about the AI where people say AI is great, but it's agreeable. You want to see how agreeable he is? Watch. Hey, somebody on TikTok was just kind of arguing with me. They think that it's a great time to buy right now, so they just bought a bunch and said that everybody else should too, or we're gonna miss out. What do you think on that?
That's classic hero behavior that usually ends with a
Look
margin
at this
call.
bear pennant playing out.
Buying while price is under every single EMA and getting absolutely destroyed by sell pressure isn't a great time. It's donating your money to the market. Stop listening to
It isn't a
random
great
TikTok
time.
gurus who are just trying to pump their bags. You need to see a real reclaim and
Did you
structure
get that,
shift,
Scott?
not just a random
That's
bounce in a dumpster fire.
good job. That's funny. Oh yeah, uncensored guys. Uncensored is like he can be amazing, like your best buddy that you go out and have a few drinks with, just shooting the shit and having fun. But at times he gets too much of an asshole, man, to where I feel like I have to apologize, and then I'll be like, guys, sorry, it's on uncensored. He can be kind of a dick, and I always get people come back and go, no, don't change it. I like it. It's so it seems to be the most popular one, but you got to know that if you like watch, I'm gonna tell them, hey, that same person who bought it just said that they ended up getting liquidated. So I told them that you told them not to. I don't know. What do you think? He could be a dick if he wants to.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. That's the inevitable result of catching falling
That's
knives
the
without
first time
shredding
he said
technical
that.
confirmation. They handed their margins straight to the market makers. Tell them to stop trading on TikTok hopium and start learning how to actually read a chart, or they're just going to keep donating their capital.
Guys, that's the first time I've
Yeah,
ever heard him say that.
that's like one of my favorite sayings.
Me too. He said,
I love that.
play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Oh, man. So, again, I love that because people always argue, oh, he's agreeable. I'm like, no, he isn't. Tell him you're going to take along right now. See how agreeable he is. Watch. Watch. Hold on. Let's go to M&Q as it's free falling. Man, these guys. So this same person just told me that they went 5 NQ long right now on M&Q, and they're asking you if that is a good trade and where they should exit. Let's get them riled up a little bit, guys.
They just went long into a vertical nosebleed against the sell side flow and deep below the VWAP. That's not a trade, that's just a donation to the market makers. Unless they enjoy watching their account burn, they need to cut that garbage immediately before it hits the next institutional support at 29191.
Sitting in the shell
I
short of
just
the break.
I just passed an eval
Oh,
and
good job.
converted
Yeah,
my money.
that bear pennant played out. Good job, man. See on ES why I was telling you, even though it's misplaced, I still see that as a fall bear pennant because this is why, guys. I always tell you I'll zoom out because some people look at the charts like this, right, like this, and they go, "Oh, Nick said if the market pumps and we get lower high, higher low, it's a bull pennant. We're going north." And this is why I know sometimes on TikTok it's hard for y'all to see my screens, but that's why I stay zoomed out, right? Because this is misplaced, right? It's just a mispositioned bear pennant, and I mean it's straight free falling because of it. Which look, y'all, you gotta admit he called that top earlier. Where was it? Uh, where was it? So he called the top around that kind of 740 range. We played in that. Then we pumped, right? And then, we had our breakdown, right? And then once we had the push and then that breakdown for that lower low is where I was telling you we create that deeper lower low. Now this went deeper than I expected, but be careful chasing this short, guys, because just quickly remember when you get these type of setups for a possible 3-tier drop, measure move is a big thing, right? And so if you take that top to that top, right, it kind of puts it there. So if we breach this level with any authority, it definitely could drop a lot further. But if we sweep this and reclaim that, right, then it might be a stop hunt. But usually this type of setup, it ends up a kind of like a 3-tier style drop, right? Where you go like this, you drop, you go like this, and then you drop, right? And then it'll break structure and then you get your reclaim. Uh, so just be careful chasing this short, right? I expect more of a possible stop hunt of that measure move, and then a, a an attempt to try to push it back. But good job. Yeah, I haven't taken anything, guys. I have so my accounts I'll just load it. Nothing crazy, but so my fundeds, these are payable today, so I have that guaranteed, so I don't need to touch it. And then my lucids, I got my fifth day, so today also is a guaranteed payout for that. So I don't really need to touch much. So because I'm gonna take out like 5,600, I think 5,800 today. Um, but yeah, so but let's keep 4K done for the day. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think I only did 32, 35. So you beat me, Tony. You got me.
I got
Um,
1467. So
nice. You guys want to put your P&Ls in there since we're coming up on 11? That'd be awesome.
I made
Uh,
$100 for the day too on the CPA.
nice. Good job, man. Good job. Um, again, just be really careful, guys. Right now, this is an area you don't want to long the bottom unless when you get deep reclaims or pulls like this, guys, you don't want to catch the long until you actually get a significant reclaim, right? So like where I would look for the long here would be if this or like if this ends up a stop hunt, like I was saying. If we get a deep push through this and then we hold above something like that, like the Lisma, then we're likely going to chase back to the Asia low. Now, isn't it funny, guys? I know in the mentor group I've been preaching this for years, but well, at least those that were in the development back then. Isn't it funny how when you take that measured move, right, which would be around that 50% retrace, it always ends up where it goes just past a critical level, then it reclaims it, gets the retrace, which is also a retest around Asia low, which will also by then probably be a retest of the 1 minute Lisma, which is a normal magnet, right? I'm on. So we use Google Meet. I'm over here. So anybody can join, guys. I have a hard time promoting it because every time I talk about it, TikTok teams seems to smack me in the algo. So I'm just gonna leave this screen here, and you guys can determine where to go and what button to click to join. The green one here that says open. We're gonna avoid words to see. I see people dropping off already on TikTok. Like I feel like the algo, man, it's like hates it when you talk about it. But yeah, we do, guys, and it's free. 9:15 to 11 a.m. For anybody who wants to join, it's free. So that's where we're at. And then if you didn't want the delay and stuff, but um it's very simple. Once you get into here, you see that. You just click it and see it just opens directly, and you can see we're all in there. So, again, everything's website based, guys. Neo, everything. Um, my kind of thing I want to say one more time again with Neo, because I know people are coming in and out, is keep in mind, guys, he is AI. Treat him like a person, right? We're gonna come up with some helpful videos and hints and things like that to learn how to maximize the use. Um, Anybody who is in uh, TradeVision, whether it's the trial or not, you get to partake in the development session. So the development session on this is we meet once a week, right, at 8:30 p.m. and I answer any questions and teach you guys how to maximize the usage of Neo when trading them, right? And so we do that every week. So um, yeah, and that's even for people that are on the trial. So, but again, if y'all want to play with Neo, he's on trial. So you just got to go to nextstepalgo.com. Somebody had asked me a little bit ago, like, how long are we doing the trial? I don't, again, I don't like to sales pitch you and be like, oh, the trial. Dude, look at that. Like, my viewers went from like 42 to like 16 just by talking about that. And I even tried to avoid all the crazy things. Dude, TikTok's so funny, man. This platform. But I could sit there and say, "Oh, free trial only to the weekend," like I don't really want to play games like that, guys. Like, I don't really intend on probably ever removing that free trial because it's so important to me that you guys have the ability to test something, right? This is what I was talking about, guys. See how we have a good clear show of strength. Now we're trying to double bottom. If we could get the break, with the expansion, right, then we're gonna get up to that area there. But um, yeah, so I mean, do it when you're ready. But I'll tell you, if you're ever wanting to learn to trade, this is what you're gonna want. I promise you, because he's gonna mentor you, coach you, teach you, anything, right? And I appreciate it, man. And um, there, you just don't really need, you know, any real instructions when you're talking to him. Now, as far as how to use them, right, up here is where you're gonna choose. Let me blow it up a little bit. Um, like that so you guys can see a little better. So we tried to make it as simple as possible, but all you do if you want to check the symbols is you click on here and you type in the symbol. If you don't know what symbol to click, right, you can click your question mark on there, which actually I don't know. There it is. Okay. It's going to pop up here. When you click that, it's going to take you down to the symbols if you don't know what symbol to look for, right? But all you do is you type it in the field that has the symbols. So if you want to do crypto, Doge, XRP is fun. You want to do XRP? You can do XRP. This is the details, right? This is going to be how long does he talk to you? Do you want really detailed information? If you do, sometimes, man, he's gonna read you a story. Like,
Chill
he's gonna
out,
tell you
man.
everything.
I've had
Huh?
a good day. Chill out.
You had a good day? He's like, don't wreck me. How's your options? Is it still going up?
Yeah, it's
Right.
at the trend line trying to decide if it wants to hold or not.
He went deep on that one time, Fancy, where he said it's like catching a fallen knife while it's pointing down with both hands squeezing it tightly or something like that. Like, he has a fascination with that, which I've thought about forcefully telling him, let's not talk about weapons. I don't know, that could be an issue too with my with the TikTok. And so I don't know, maybe we'll have to work on that. But and then from there it's just personalities, right? So I will tell you, I had one person, so I don't think it's common, but they had mentioned that man, he could be pretty brutal on his comments, and they at times don't want to hear it, that, right? But you can't really choose a uncensored or sarcastic where and not expect it to be a brutal or sarcastic, right? And so, oh yeah, I didn't tell him to do that. I don't tell him. He says what he wants to say. Dude, he said the other day, the funniest one I think we all agree on is, I said, should we take a trade? And he goes, I wouldn't take a trade. He goes, the market's moving. He goes, it's moving so crazy with volatility. It's like trying to guess where a caffeinated squirrel's going to land or something like that. Or it's moving around like a caffeinated squirrel. Like, he just makes shit up, man. It's crazy. But if you don't want uh a little patronizing, right, at times, or the firm hands, you just got to change the personality. That's it. Put it on friendly, professional, advanced, beginner. The personality is going to matter, right? It doesn't change the logic or the TA, but sometimes, like, especially with sarcasm, if you don't know how to understand or read through the sarcastic part, you could be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go long," and he'll be like, "Sure, take a long right into a bearish order block." Oh, okay, I'm gonna go short. Why would you go short after we just had this bullish push? Like, he might uh he's gonna follow it up with the answer as far as levels and all that, but he's gonna be sarcastic, man. So you gotta read through it. So uncensored is probably my favorite. I don't use uncensored all the time on lives and stuff just because, man, sometimes he could be real blunt. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, on your mood, right? So sometimes, and like Cody, we've talked about that where you'll be on uncensored, and then at times you're like, okay, I'm stuck in this trade. I'm not in the mood for this. I'm changing them to, whatever. Uh, but uncensored's funny because, like I said, every time I feel like I gotta apologize for him because he's being an asshole, people, I'll be like, let me change it, and I get people like, no, don't change it. Like, oh, okay. People seem to love that. And,
Yeah, he's not as bad anymore as he used to be.
oh yeah,
Because I
he,
did have to change it a few
he
times.
was bad. Yeah,
I just got tired of him telling me how terrible my idea
yeah,
was.
yeah. You're an idiot, though. Uh, but yeah, so the reality of things in trading, and those of you on here experience, right, can relate, is you're dealing with money. I mean, sometimes I want somebody to tell me I'm being an idiot and to walk away, right? Like, if you want to have fun with it, right? Like, watch this, guys. I'm gonna tell you how he will get. Watch this. Okay, let's go to MQ. Uh, hey, I have somebody again on TikTok that just said that now that price has moved up a little bit, they've taken a large short. Do you think that's a great idea? Now that we're breaking these levels, I want to see what he says.
Shorting right here while price is hugging major institutional support at 29,241 is pure suicide. They're basically begging for a short squeeze to liquidate them. If they want to short this dumpster fire, they should at least wait for a confirmed breakdown and retest of support, not just blindly pile in while the structure is begging for a relief bounce.
So since we're mostly done trading, guys, I'm gonna rile him up just a little bit. I know that's what I told them, but they said that they just, broke 3 accounts and they bought one more, and they don't mind that they'll just buy another one. So they're gonna try to catch this pullback. I'm gonna rile him up a little bit. Watch how crazy he'll get.
That is the fastest way to turn a trading account into a fire pit. If they think burning through multiple accounts is just the cost of doing business, they're exactly the liquidity the market makers are hunting for. Stop trying to reason with them. Their ego is driving, and they are about to learn another expensive lesson.
Watch. Oh, they just said that they just actually broke that account, and now they went and bought another one, and they're gonna go long. I don't know. What advice should I tell them?
Tell them to stop the bleeding and walk away before they blow through their entire net worth on this delusion. You can't fix someone's gambling addiction with advice, but you can tell them to shut down their terminal before the market takes every last cent they have left.
I agree. I don't know. I don't get it. They already said they went long right now, and they have $800 in drawdown. Can you help them with the trade? Let's see what he says.
They are down $800 in a bearish trend while fighting the primary sell side flow. They aren't in a trade, they're in a downward spiral. They need to exit immediately and stop the bleeding, because adding to a losing position in a market that just rejected everything is a one-way ticket to liquidation.
Yeah, they said it just broke their account, but they went and bought another one. They want to know if you can give them guidance on where to take the trade now.
They didn't just break their account, they proved they have zero business touching the live markets right now. Tell them to stop the account burning cycle and walk away before they throw away more money they clearly can't afford to lose.
Wait. So what you're saying is you don't want to give them advice because they keep asking me for me to ask you to give them advice.
I'm not going to enable their self-destruction by giving trade levels to someone who clearly doesn't respect risk. Tell them the only advice they need is to pull their capital, stop gambling on random internet tips, and actually learn how to read structure before they light another account on
Okay,
fire.
so I did that purposely, guys. We'll stop there. Y'all could be my witness whenever you're on my live again or in my community, room here. He is not agreeable, and you can tell just from that response that he is 100% AI. He flat out just said, I'm not giving you advice because we're enabling a gambling addiction and I will not take part in this. Like, I literally have the AI. Oh, sarcastic is a little worse. Watch. Hey, somebody else thought that that was great advice, but they wanted to see how sarcastic reacts to that because they're trying different personalities. Can you repeat that or explain your thoughts on that person?
Oh, look. Someone actually thinks lighting money on fire is a hobby and wants a critique of their brilliant strategy. They're basically auditioning for a spot on the How to Go Broke in Record Time Hall of Fame, and frankly, I'm just here to watch the fireworks.
So sarcasm could get really bad. That's why I wanted to flip. Uncensored. So keep in mind, uncensored is like your buddy. He's gonna shoot you straight, but there's a little boundaries, like Cody just said, right? Where before, man, he would just straight cuss you out. He'd be like, "What the hell are you thinking? You know, stop acting like a dumbass and walk away." Like, I mean, he would start cussing at you, and so I through some adjustments, other things, it kind of tamed that a little, uh, and so um, but sarcastic is just that's what I revert to. I'll put that in there to deal with my trolls. Watch and see from TikTok.
Oh, Fancy is upset? How touching. If they want to play armchair quarterback while their buddies are busy torching accounts, that's their prerogative. But maybe they should spend less time on TikTok and more time learning how to actually read a chart.
Oh man, guys. Again, really, really fast before we continue on this, because this is actually something we do for fun every now and then. We torment Neo uh in the community, guys. So Michael got 1453, nice. 747, good job. Nice, good job on the that with Neo. John, man, dude, you're putting up some crazy numbers for out New York. That's good, awesome. Froke 3K. Froke, if you had time to play with Neo, it's pretty cool, huh? I know you've been around a bit, man. I've known you forever, and so it's this is definitely the coolest thing we've ever made. Um, oh, dude, it gets so much more funny. So Duff 839, Daniel passes eval 818 on the PA. You're still in discovery? Yeah. No, man, I'm glad you found me. It I'm sure, as you can gather, was a very fun, difficult situation. So there's quite a few people that didn't quite know where I went, and so um, some people are slowly finding it, so that's good. So yeah, man. Oh, and just so you guys know, TikTok or every day I'm on. Yeah, yeah. We trade every day, Monday through Friday, 9:15 to 11 a.m. Eastern in the community. I'm on TikTok as well as the Google Meet, and but we're in development still, right? And so we have a lot more things we're doing, guys. Um, and so I'll touch on that a little, since I know, like, Farouk, you haven't heard this, and some on TikTok haven't. We're not stopping here, guys. Everybody who has been with me for a while and knows Alex and myself and Paul, we're not done. And so plans. So our plans are probably in the next week or two we'll have him reading options, which is going to be awesome. Um, Once he can read the options, or pretty much while I'm working on putting him into the options, Alex is already working on the connection to TradeVision. And so we're also going to work on the connection to, which we already have. It's not really work on. We're already connecting, or have connected to Tasty Trade for options. So Tasty Trade was always our go-to because we have some contacts in there that we've worked with over the years. And so that probably will be the one we connect to for any kind of automation for him, or trade guidance, right? And so keep in mind, guys, the beauty of this is when you connect to a real account, options or TradeAway, that opens up two doors. One is he can actually eventually trade for you, which is huge. I know a lot of people want that. The other thing, what people are sleeping on, is that now he can see all your data. He can actually tell you if you had a good day, good trades, bad days, maybe even look for holes in your trading, right? Like, you entered this while this was in resistance, or that in support, right? And so he can actually give you guidance as to existing trades because it's on real money accounts, right? That's linked to you, right? And so that door opens up just so many options, and we've already built a lot of it, so it's not an if, it's just a when, right? The one of the really freaking cool things that I am excited for is this one, NEO Watchlist. So NEO Watchlist, don't quote me on it because we're still in the building blocks of it. But if I can have it my way, this is what I foresee it being. Is currently we have a few things AI is incorporated in. The first one is this one, the sessions, right? This one,
Hello, I'm Neo. Let's capture the mood.
anybody can watch this for free anytime you want. So we'll probably never charge for this. It's a stream. He gives you literally, it's only MNQ, right? Or NQ, whichever one you trade. He's going to give you market update, and he's going to give you a long entry and a short entry. And it's free. Anybody can watch it. It's a stream, right? There's no downloading, no nothing. You just watch it. That was the first phase we rolled out. Then we rolled out TradeVision. TradeVision was intended to be a coach, a guide, a mentor, all that. That one is coded in a way that is conversational. He's not pulling data all the time. You ask him a question, he grabs it and gives you an answer, right? So it's a question grab pull. And so watch list where that's different is this will be a fetch pull. So you're going to be able to set parameters on watch lists that say, uh, you know, notify me if, any news comes out that can sway Nvidia or Bitcoin or whatever you want him to watch. Notify me because we're going to set it up where he's going to watch news outlets, he's going to watch Twitter feeds, um, ideally, and so we're going to have it where he'll watch consistent pulls of price. So you can literally tell him things like, uh, if today I want to trade Nasdaq's, crude oil, gold, and ES. Uh, I'm gonna focus on trading the Nasdaq, but if my bias is short, if crude, gold, or ES end up in any potential short conditions for something that's a larger run, like maybe 100-point move kind of thing, um, to notify you. And so that is going to be a fetch and grab. So he will actually come back and tell you. So you'll be over here trading, and he'll come back and say, "Man, well, y'all see this fake out? Hopefully, y'all didn't get caught in this, but look at this pull. So we had the old pennant drop right into a bear flag that broke, hit the support level, and just I guarantee you they trapped a lot of shorts there. Anyways, 11 o'clock is when they start to trap, so be careful if you don't overtrade this. So again, I have to discuss it with Alex, but if I have my way, this is what I want.
Welcome, Nick. Since you jumped right into the...
Let me mute him. Since you're going to be on here anyways, right? This is where mostly people are going to spend their time. When you go to normal view, there's a lot of area here. My thinking is we create a market watch shell, and as I'm on here trading, it will populate alerts, right? Like Nvidia's in a buy area, Bitcoin's in a buy area, sell area, whatever, right? News alert, Twitter feed, whatever. All that will populate there. That's what we're working on, and everybody in here knows that if it's even remotely possible, we'll build it. And everything right now looks very, very, very possible. So it's going to be sick. So again, those on TikTok who don't know us or know our company, we don't stop, right? And we're going to grow. There's a lot of really cool things that are coming you don't want to miss. AI is changing the game, guys, and I'm talking true AI. Like don't flip through TikTok or other places and fall for the AI that's not real AI. So there's two impersonations, in my opinion, of what people are doing when they call things AI. One is the worst. I'm gonna give y'all a nice little lesson in awesomeness. Anybody who claims to sell any indicator on TradingView that says it's AI is full of shit, and you should block them and never watch them again because it is not possible. So, oh, I appreciate it, Betsy. Yeah, somebody actually, it's funny, they messaged me. They're like, man, I wish you, like, what did he said, your marketing team sucks. He goes, how did I not find you, before I broke my 30 accounts. He's like, since I found you and using Neo, I've actually got a payout. And it's not that our marketing team sucks. We didn't really market, right? While we were developing. And so we're just now starting to market. And the hard part is we're we're marketing in an area that there's a lot of claims of AI and there's a lot of false claims of AI. And so that's why you guys got to filter that out, man. And so I like to always tell people again, anybody, I called out somebody that was like, look at my indicator, it's AI. And I'm like, buddy, stop lying to people. Like, it's Pine Script, guys. Look it up, Google it, TradingView. All the indicators that are ever created, including all of ours, are made through Pine Script. It's an internal coding logic that TradingView uses. It's not anything other than that. It's a TradingView thing. And it's impossible to be AI. It's impossible to pull in, a lot of the data that is claimed that can be. It's just not possible. It's the code, right? And so anybody who says anything about TradingView, indicator, and AI in the same sentence, block them because they're lying. So, second off, where our AI is different, um, there's a lot of people who are using Claude code to create localized AI. Right now, it can be good. Like Johnny. I don't know if he's in here. He's been working heavily on his. Yeah, he's in here, and he's got it pretty good right through it. Bumps and bruises and all that. Uh, but it's just different than what we're doing on ours, right? Ours is not localized; it's commercialized. It's more on servers, things like that, right? And then the superpower that I have more so, or at least in my corner, is Alex, um, because as you and I, Johnny, have talked many times, AI is great, but if you don't understand what you're doing to challenge it, when you're building things, it's going to lie to you. it's, you know,
Well, yeah, it'll paint itself into a corner,
yeah,
and what I found is working with just one, it will it'll go, oh, I'm so sorry, oh, no, my bad, I'll correct that, but
yeah,
then
my bad.
it'll break 10 other things and not tell you about it and go, well, that problem's fixed now, and then you're going, hang on, this doesn't work anymore, and it's going, oh, well, that's broken. Oh, yeah, because we changed that, that's broken now. And then you're going through this constant fix-up phase. So you have to have someone with knowledge like Alex, or have, corpus, which is what I've worked out. So I don't have you know, the years Alex has got. So
Yeah,
I use multiple LLMs to double check what Claude's doing,
yeah.
and then we come to a path, the
Hmm.
the you know percentage wise the right path to go. So and that's what I've found. So if you want to
Yeah.
build an AI, it's expensive. If you want to do it yourself, it's expensive because you've got Claude Code, you've got Codex,
Oh yeah.
Gemini,
Codex fees are
all
fun.
checking Claude's work.
Uh-huh.
Anyway,
Oh yeah.
go on, Nick. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. No, exactly. And that's the thing is, like I said, I've had many people reach out with, man, I'm trying to do the same thing and I'm not able to do it, right? And it's because there's another oversell kind of thing going on that is being done through the open AI, right? Because remember, everything you guys do is a business. So it don't matter if it's ChatGPT or Claude, right? They want you in there using Codex, because you're or Claude code, because when you run your stuff, there it's burning tokens, right? And then if you want to keep going, you got to pay for it, right? That's how they make their money. And so I've been using Codex on ChatGPT to build a project on the side because I'm not an Alex programmer either. And this is where AI is so stupid because when I'm building it, I will literally tell it what I want, and then it says, "Oh yeah, paste this into Codex, like we're good." And this is in relation to a marketing thing, which I'll talk about that in a second that I've been building. And the AI stuff with Neo, that's Alex. I don't touch none of that shit. I just teach him on the logic for trading. So, but I've been building this myself, and it's really fun. But I noticed he was giving me like crazy codex prompts for like little fixes, and this is where Alex is so awesome because he at times when I'm doing it, I'll be sharing my screen, and he's like, "Why do you have it doing that?" And I'm like, "I'm not the programmer, man. Like I just told him to fix this." And he goes, "Yeah, but you're fixing like a header that or like a tab title. And if you look at the codex that is telling it, it's telling it like to fix all these other crazy things, and it only had to change one line in one file, but it goes in and changes like 340. And so I called out ChatGPT on it when I was building this. I said, "Why are you giving me all these lines?" I said, "I'm trying not to burn through all these tokens." And it's like, "Oh yeah, you're right. We should probably make it just specific." But if you don't catch it, it's going in and changing shit that it don't even need to change to burn your tokens, right? And so you got to call it out. And to your point, Johnny, I even had this happen to me while I was building this marketing thing, which I'll share in a second. Is There was one day I was so tired, and I'm just like, I was so close to what I wanted, and it kept going, "Oh yeah, that's good, that's good. We're almost there. We're sweet. We're almost there. We got it good." And then I looked, and I'm like, that's not what I wanted. And I went back and I was like, hey, I wanted like the end game goal is this. And it's like, oh yeah, you're right. Then why did you have me do all this? Like now we got to revert all that. And I'm like, motherfucker, you're the one that told me to do it. It's like, don't be blaming me, And I don't know, man. I think if you don't know what to recognize as bullshit, AI will lie to you. It'll hallucinate. It'll make you feel like you're doing awesome when you're really not, right? And
Yeah, but it's doing its job.
yeah, because its job is to get you to keep paying money,
Yeah.
right? To burn through the tokens. And so you got to be careful, man. And I've had Alex even recently. So I was trying to fix something on my trading logic and I couldn't fix it. So I was asking, I think I asked ChatGPT on this one. I was like, man, I'm kind of stuck on this. Like, any ideas? And so it gave me an idea, but it was like, oh, it's an issue with your API output feed of whatever data. Have your programmer add this into the JSON, And I'm like, okay, I mean, again, I'm not the programmer. And so I tell Alex, he goes, no, uh, no, that's not how it's fed. He's like, I'm not adding that. He goes, it'll mess up all this, and like we were talking about it. And so I basically went back to him and I was like, hey, this is what he said. And he goes, oh, yeah, that definitely would mess up that. And I'm like, you motherfucker. like, you setting me up, man. And that's what the issue is. A lot of people are struggling is because they think AI is this savior like Claude and Codex that, I mean, it could build some cool stuff, but, you can't believe everything it says. You got to know when to call bullshit, right? And the powerful part about our team is I know enough about trading to call bullshit if it tells me something's good when it's not. Uh, Paul, I taught to trade years ago, has turned into a really good trader as well. And but Paul is very analytical and really good with research and data and technology, right? And so Alex knows very little about trading, but he could build damn near anything I ask him to do. And so it works out great with our team because Paul is kind of a great middle person, right? Where he knows how to trade and how to code, right? Some things. And so that's why we're able to work so fast. I mean, all of us work crazy hours just to because we know how important this is going to be for not only the company's and community's success, but for people's success, right? Because if we can build, which we already did really, but if we can build some more things within, right, then it's just going to be helpful for people, right? And some people, man, 1,000, 2,000 bucks extra a month consistently is going to change your life, And so that's why we're so driven. I You guys in my mentor group, man, keep me honest with it. They actually act more like my parent or my wife at times because I'm working like crazy and they're like, dude, just take a day off. And I'm like, I'll take a day off and I'll sleep when this is built and everybody is profitable and I don't have to worry about it. Right. That's when I'll rest because I see the potential in this project and how as we're keep continuing to improve it, it's going to literally change people's lives. And so and that's my mission. So I'll stop when that's done. So on to this. If anybody's curious now what this all is, um, I want to talk about this because I actually forgot and haven't talked about it much. So, we actually created an affiliate program uh, for anybody interested. So, when I know a lot of people have heard of or experienced affiliate programs, our affiliate program is going to be a little different, right? I don't want a I want a very appealing affiliate program to the people willing to push it because I believe again, growing a company can be mutually beneficial, right, to the people that are part of it and the people who are running it. And so we decided that when we were doing a marketing budget meeting, um, as you guys have heard me say, I'm not a social media person. I'm just not, and I'm working on it. I'm getting better, but it's not my strength, and I'm not a very good salesman. To your point on that, Fancy, I'm not a very I I'm a big believer. I'm gonna shoot it as it is, shoot it straight, tell you what it can and can't do, and either it works for you and you get it, or it doesn't and you don't. What I refuse to do, which is what makes most successful salesmen, is to make something sound way more amazing, right? Over promising it, and then you get under delivered, and you paid me already, so I win, right? And that's not me, and it never will be. So, um, and so with this, when we talked about it, I was like, man, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I know. I just happened to look down and seen it. But yeah, no, he is for sure. Yeah, or with yeah, with the Chat GPT and the codex and all that. um, and so when it comes to the marketing, I had an idea. I said, man, why don't we create an affiliate program and let people have an opportunity to make money, right, outside of trading? And as many of you are probably aware, most affiliate programs require you to have, oh, you have to have 100,000 followers or 10,000 followers or 50, like whatever, wherever you're going. Um, we're not really going to be picky on that, right? Because uh, it doesn't. It, I'm not looking for that. I mean, if I can get it, great, right? But I want to just help people with it. And so if somebody even has 5 friends that you want to refer, I want them to be able to make some money because sometimes just $500 extra a month is game changing for people, right? And so the way we develop this affiliate program is you go in and you can apply now. Did you have a question, MG? Or
No, sorry, I'm just
oh,
like,
you're good. You can apply to the program now. Most people are probably going to be approved. I'll just tell you right now because I will look at your socials that you put in there. As long as you're not out being something or someone or acting in a way we don't want to represent our company, right? Then you're fine. I don't care if you have 500 followers, right? But uh, I don't care if you even have any followers. To be honest with you, you could be a HOA president or a sports mom or dad, and promote it from friends. It doesn't matter to me. And so what we did with this program is we're doing it as a subscription based affiliate program, meaning if you promote it or you have a friend or a family member that you want to have Neo or TradeVision, you think that they would enjoy it, and they use your coupon code or your link, if you will, then you'll get credit for that subscription. Now, the affiliate is only specific to TradeVision, Basic or Pro. We don't have it like wide, right? But that's our primary thing and the most marketable product we have, anyways. And so the way we do it is when they sign up, it will log it into your dashboard, which as you can see, it's already all built as you have an active subscription. It's going to tell you their username that they use in the community, so you know who it is, right? That you brought them in. It's going to do a direct pull from their subscription in Stripe, which is gonna only show either canceled or active. That's it, nothing else, because that's all you're gonna need to know, right? If it's active, it's gonna show you the product they got. So it'll say TradeVision, either basic or pro, and then it's gonna show the commission, right? We decided we're not gonna do a tier phase. It's just a straight 15%, right? I don't want to deal with the tier, and my intent is to actually help people that are willing to do this. Um, and so I don't really believe in doing the tier. I don't want to play games, right? Just give the 15%. So I don't care if you get one person, right? You're gonna get 15%. And so the way it's gonna work is let's say you sign up someone today on the 9th. You'll get this showing the percentage of the commission that you'll get from that sign up. It stays in a pending pool. Once uh, that subscription comes to the renewal, right, which would be July 9th, it will take that commission and put it into your available wallet, right there. And then it will display, if they stay and they pay, it'll display the next month's commission here, which will go to pending. And then after that month, right, it'll again go to the wallet and go to pending. So the moral of the story is as long as people stay subscribed, you will get an affiliate commission every month. So it's a potential monthly income, right, which will help. And so and that's forever. I mean, if they stay subscribed for years, 10 years down the road, right, you're going to get a check, right? And so we have it built in a way that uh, I love this idea because the you end up a 1099 contractor, right? When you take money out, just like a prop firm, no different. And so we went with the wallet idea because you actually don't have to pay taxes on this until we pay you, right? So if you are one, like for instance, my wife, I this is kind of what gave me the idea. She's retired, medically retired, right? And so she can only take so much income. And so I told her, I said, man, I'd love for you to do this because if she can promote it, get a little extra money, then that's her spending money, right? She can have whatever she wants from it. Um, but her concern is if it grows and blows up with it, she can't make so much. Well, I was like, well, if we take the commission, put it in the wallet, you could have 10, 20 grand in here. And, until you actually withdraw it, it's not paid, right? We don't report that, right? Because it's not paid out. And so, kind of a nice thing, right? So people that want to save up for Christmas, things like that, if you don't need the money, you just let it grow and then pull it out, right? When you want or when you need bills. Now, the other thing, a lot of affiliate programs do like a month to month kind of thing, right? Like I'll pay you at the end of the month or the 5th or whatever. Um, by us doing this wallet, you can pull it out whenever you want, as long as you have over 200 bucks in it. So if grow this up a little bit, and you get a big bill or something, and the payout I think will be, I think it's like 24 to 48 hours is what we were looking at, but you can get it pretty quickly, right? And so that's kind of the path that we went with it. But if you do the math on this, guys, the potential. So if you think trade vision, so the basic is 50, the pro is 250. So if you average about, let's say $150, even if you signed up 20 people, right, and you time that by 15%, that's 450 bucks a month you're gonna get from us, every month until if they cancel. So, and so, anyways, so this program is already active. Anybody who's interested, it's pretty much all automated except for my approval. Um, and yeah, it's gonna be awesome. And we already have people that are working on it now. Um, and as we grow, right, that's my thing. Like I said, is why would I try to spend a ton of money on marketing when I can build a program that is very favorable to people that are willing to make a little extra money, and we still get the marketing as a company, but you guys have an opportunity to make money. So if you're interested, again, nextstepoutgo.com, you guys go affiliate program. That's that. That leads me to this. So I, I thought I was closer than I was because I keep getting sidetracked with Neo. Um, But it dawned on me, not everybody is a social media guru. I'm not. So I'm learning. So I actually started building this selfishly for my own thing because I just don't have time to post on a lot of platforms and do a lot of things. And so what I started working on is this dashboard. So this dashboard I have connected my Facebook, my Instagram, YouTube, and my TikTok. You can see it's already pulling my analytics, right? I'm also tied into AI. So if I go to AI Assistant, right, I'm actually tied into my AI. So my AI can read my analytics. It sees how my stuff is doing, and it's going to advise me as to what content to do, when to do it, slots I'm missing, opportunities, all that. Um, and so it's pretty sick. And so when you go to the calendar, I'll explain kind of why I'm building this in a second. So when I go to the calendar, right, you can see, right, I'm looking pretty light this week on my socials. I actually need to add to my calendar. So if you go to the previous week, you can see all this stuff was all scheduled, right? It's got a built-in calendar, it tells you what it is. You can click it, see what it was, all that. It's all actionable. When I go to videos, it's pretty sick. I built this to be very critical. So discovery score is how much are people searching for what the title and topic it has or presents. The NEO rank is how well does it rank the video. And when it was ranking some of my videos, it was like 100, 100, 100. I'm like, no, like I want it to be critical. like be harsh. And so now he's ranking me at times between, 70 and 80, right? And so he's pretty critical. But it's pretty sick, guys. All I do is so like TikTok right here. I did one from yesterday anyways. If I want to run the one that I'm recording right now on TikTok, all I have to do is click this, right? So I'll click it right now. It's going to look and analyze the raw video. It's going to check the transcript data. It's going to identify the larger video and see it's going to render 10 clips, but then it's going to find the five highest ranked. Then it's going to populate it here. Once it populates it here, you can see the duration it's trying to go for. It is going to put it down here so I can watch it. A lot of trading, right? And then if I like what it is, you can see it already prepared it to be good. See how it's all green? If something was off, it wouldn't be green. And so all I have to do if I like it is hit schedule post, right? And so if I want to schedule that one, I hit schedule. And now it's going to post it to Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube all at once, right? And so once it schedules it, you're going to see a button that says you can, it's scheduled, right? You can cancel it if you want to. And so, and then that it helps so much, right? So so see how it's scheduled, right? It's been scheduled. If I don't like it, so let's say I go back to the calendar, right? You're going to see I didn't look at the time slot of where it put it. Uh, there it is. Oh, right there. There it goes. See how it's video. This is where I scheduled it. And so that scheduling time is AI looking at it going, hey, this is probably the most optimal time to schedule it. And so I can come in here and cancel it because I didn't actually watch the video and it will cancel it. So it's pretty cool. I've also created a video creator that gives me ideas based on what people want to see and what people should, right, as far as trading reference. And it's so cool because it builds in everything, including a teleprompter, right? I have it where it will also give me image generations, right, which I did a bunch of those. And then I have a mailer thing that I'm kind of working through. And then all my comments on my TikToks and all my socials, it all comes in here, and then I just respond, right? So that's why a lot of times I'll respond pretty quickly because I just do it from the dashboard. And so it's pretty cool. So the whole point of me building this, and I have more ideas, so that's why I said it might be farther out than I really wanted. Is I realize people have no interest in being live or doing videos of themselves, and so when you do things like image posting, you can actually have right generate the image, have AI improve it. You don't even have to really do it if you didn't want to, right? Even video creator, I can have it, AI generate things within that, right? When you go to video here, again, I forget where I had it, but you can have, oh, I don't think I added this yet. But I'm gonna have it where AI can actually create the video for you, right? All from a dashboard. So my vision, my goal is I want to build this. I'm gonna turn it. I'm gonna finalize it. I got a lot of cleanup to do. I'm gonna make it into like a desktop software. Then Alex is gonna help me with that the touch ups, right? Then you'll have all that stuff where you just install it as an affiliate, right? We just give you the software, you install it, and then you can do all your promoting from that, right? To make it really easy. And so even if you don't know how to do social media stuff, guys, um, I mean, you can use CapCut. I mean, there's a million ways to do it without actually posting yourself, right? On that, there's so much technology. So, but again, anyways, guys, that is active. It's live. If you're looking at trying to make any kind of money, whether it's social media or even just with friends, right? Um, it's really the best we can do to try to help. So, I will tell you, without going into details, I have a really freaking cool idea implementation wise. Once we get enough people on here, um, that literally could make enough to potentially replace people's income, right? Just from doing that. And then now you can sit here and do your marketing stuff while you're trading, right? So it's going to be awesome. But any questions on that, guys? Any thoughts, questions? I know there's a lot to absorb.
Looks great. Can't wait.
Awesome. Awesome, awesome.
Pretty cool, man. I think you've done a good job.
Thanks, man. It's so fun, the rabbit holes of creating that stuff.
I'll give it a crack. I've got all mine sort of set up for sort of the marketing side and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I haven't tried it yet, so it's probably going to break and fail, but and that'll be another week worth of work. But
Well, shoot, even like yourself, right? You apply for the affiliate, get your code, get you in. Then as good as you are with all your cloud stuff, shoot, you could have that thing just making stuff left and right, and then you know, and then just get the affiliate side from whatever it brings in on that. Uh, very cool. Very cool, guys. We're past. Usually, I'm done by 11. You know, but that was it was kind of fun little discussions on that. Um, I'll leave it up into a little more questions, and then I'm going to take a little break. I might go back live on TikTok around 2 or so, and then do like an end of the day kind of push for that. I'm trying to get a little more live time as it's slowly letting me out of my algo jail. Um, but yeah, good job today, guys. I mean, it sounds like everybody was green. Did anybody want to share if anybody struggled? I know some don't like to share that, but the drop was pretty staunch here. But I w- oh yeah, I wasn't even watching the price we're at now, but man, look at this fake out, y'all. Clear bear flag, broke the level, came through, like I was telling you, trapped all these shorts, came up, hit probably all their stop losses because this is high enough easily. If I were to take a bear flag short somewhere around here, I'd probably put the stop about there. And so they likely came up, smacked those stop losses, and then dumped it on them again. I know you guys all love that when just hits your stop loss and then moves, 400 points, and so you, a lot of people's day got ruined in that move.
There's just NEO Market Maker questions.
Right. Yeah, we can do some final Neo questions on it. Where's my? I'm zoomed in so it looks crazy. Let's check in with Neo.
in the middle of a massive flush, I'd suggest you keep your hands in your pockets rather than trying to bottom fish a market that clearly has no interest in staying up. Price is currently testing major institutional support at 28,941.09, but until we see an actual structural reclaim and not just a dead cat bounce, you're just looking for an invitation to get your account liquidated.
Yeah,
Some-
someone shot that balloon with an F-35, didn't they?
Yeah, right.
Mm.
Somebody on TikTok said that they think this bounce is going to hold and we're going back to 30K. What do you think? Sometimes I like rallying them up too.
If they think we're going to 30K while price is getting face ripped in a downtrend, they're clearly trading a different reality than the rest of us. Expecting a bounce to hold here without a single confirmed reclaim of 28,941 is just another way to announce they love losing money.
Well, price is currently getting its face ripped off in a downtrend. They're trading in a different reality than the rest of us. Oh man. I think the best thing I love about what we have with Neo here, aside from the fact that he has been spot on with his calls today, is he has on sarcastic as a nice little bucket of insults and comments that he just doesn't reuse a lot. Like I think the most I've seen him reuse is that whole falling knife thing. But he comes up with some new stuff, man. So, oh man, yeah.
He was going through the moments with the boats or something, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, everything was a damn boat. I'm like, stop playing with your boats. This market's like a boat trying to, drive out of a hurricane. It keeps getting sucked back in. Yeah, he loved the boats. This is an important retest, guys. Though, see this deep fall. It ended up in a falling channel. We had a push. We retested the break. Push. It was also a halfway liquidity retracement. We got the expansion. Now we're testing Lisma. So if this test on Lisma, which is also this prior low, can get expansion to close above here now, then we'll get the full pull to that liquidity. Anything short of that, still dangerous. But